live at Believe Radio.
And we're live over here. Thank you all for tuning in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station, amongst other things that we do here. The first Saturday of the month is called the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, where there are 15 to 45-minute segments called The Corner. Each corner has a blueprint that is unique of its own. So we always ask you to vibe out to fireside chats and be inspired by affirmations and inspirational messages. Every first Saturday of the month on The Corner, you have the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, Artist Talk. We showcase musicians, poets, singers, dancers, film producers, authors, comedians, gospel and R&B rappers from around the Bay Area to across the globe. Boy, tongue-tied today. They will share their creative process and their lived experience. On The Corner, you can also tune into Why I Dream. We highlight and honor the inventions and creative work of today's brilliant mind, along with the geniuses from our past. We are preserving African American history and culture in order to keep our legacy alive. Also, the other part of The Corner could be She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. This is where we will hear from individuals sharing their personal testimonies from what the Lord has done and is doing in their lives, which is inspirational messages. Also, we are highlighting golden light affirmations to impart healing medicine in the brilliant minds of today. Every second Saturday of the month from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., we have the medicine hour with Mr. George Pearson and his co-host, Sister B. Mello, Miss Barbara Howard, aka. This is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us. Topics we cover: health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of our temple, mind, and spirit is essential to having mental wellness, healthy eating habits, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. Every third Saturday of the month from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. is the Medicine Hour. Education is the best medicine, hosted by the founder and producer, Mr. George Y. Pearson. He is a physician assistant. Education is the Best Medicine is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization, which is community-based, health educational advocacy-based, and a resource-based organization that uses public media resources, radio, newspapers, and church-based community health fairs to provide information and education. We believe vision is the art of seeing things yet unseen and bringing light to a very dark world. Every fourth Saturday of the month, you have the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show, hosted by Sister B. Mello, the Doc, the Prince of Hearts, and the Voice. We have real talk conversations with individuals, organizations, community leaders, business owners from around the Bay Area to across the globe to talk about the different things that they're doing in their actual community. The fifth Saturday of the month is called Voices That Care. We highlight mental wellness and reentry. Wow, it's a mouthful, but we have to say it. We have to share and share what's going on our podcast. So today, in the honor of Women's Month, the Eyes of the Conscious Soul on the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge. This is where we have the Artist Talk. Miss Barbara Howard, aka, is the host, and my co-host Brandon Rosenery, aka Rosenery. He is not here today in his presence. We're praying for you, nephew, and we hope that all is well. Today's theme is living in my purpose. The guest we have on here is Raquel Nicole Jete.
Yeah.
Woo! That is a mouthful, but however, we got through it. God is good.
Amen.
And we want to thank God for this opportunity to have you in the studios with us today. I am honored. In the month of Women's Month, I thank God for the work that you're doing in the community and that you are, and around the world, you are living in your purpose. And today, we want to talk about your story, your journey. So before we do anything, we always got to give kudos out to the family, because it's like, I know she's not on the radio and not give kudos to the family and your son and all of that. So we want you just to give kudos to the families and the shoulders that you're standing on today.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's an honor to be here, and that you even want to speak to me.
Oh, listen here now. Watch it. Look at here. You deserve this.
Amen.
You deserve it.
By God's grace.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, all given honor to the Lord, who's the head of my life. Amen.
All right now.
But yeah, he's given me an amazing family. Many of them have passed. My grandmother, who was the one who took me to church.
This is in honor of Grandma. What's her name?
Myrtle.
Miss Myrtle.
Beasley.
Miss Myrtle Beasley.
Yeah. She was a
phenomenal woman.
Sincerely.
I believe it.
Sincerely. It's so interesting because there's a way that women were brought up back in the day.
Come on now.
That were just they were everything to everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't think we really acknowledge them as much as, you know what I mean, we should have, maybe. And maybe I'm speaking from my own perspective. No. But they just
thank you for saying it.
They had dinner ready every day. Woo-hoo. They were a wife to their husband. My grandmother was a postmaster of 2 post offices. She was a businesswoman. She was the head of the women's department at church. She made sure she never forgot a birthday. I mean, like, she was just all of that. And she kept herself cute. Chanel. Hey. Hair done and nails did every I never knew
Come
her
on, Grandma.
not having her hair and nails did.
That's
I
right.
mean, she was just all of that and a bag of chips. And I just aspired to be just, a piece of what she was when she was here. And so in honor of her, and just, all of my family who, I know love me a lot. And my son, of course, who is just the most wonderful human being on earth.
That's your baby.
He is my baby.
That's your baby.
And he really is amazing. And I can't wait for the world to see his giftings. So yeah, and to be honest with you, even beyond my family, I stand on the shoulders of, the Billie Holidays of the world, the Ella Fitzgeralds, and the people that I inspire. I'm inspired by musically, who I stand on the shoulders of, who just held a sense of class and dignity in the face of, all of the things going on in their time. So I honor them today.
Wow. Well, this is Women's Month, and it is our I believe it is our responsibility to make sure that we are giving the women their flowers while we're here. And we're grateful that you talked about Grandma. I want to hear a little bit more of Grandma, because I feel Grandma's spirit in the room with us, and bringing all of our ancestors, the women that lineage, going all the way back to great grandma, great, all the way back. So they're here and their presence with us today because we were birthed from them. Right. So I'm grateful. I want to hear a little bit more about Grandma. Share, just talk about Grandma.
Well,
before we get started.
Absolutely. No, I love talking about her. I really looked up to her because before my grandmother, my family didn't go to church. It was just kind of, Easter, Christmas, you know what I'm saying? Like the typical, days that you would go to church. And she, right before I was born, she got saved. Wow. And she told my mom.
That's significant.
Yeah. She told my mom, like, this baby, I'm going to take this baby to church with me, whether you go or not. Like, she kind of like took me. And so I grew up in diapers, in the big foo-foo dresses. She used to dress me up. And so I was pretty much born in church. And but because of that, she kept me grounded and made sure that, I don't know, she just kind of held me under her wing in a sense. And without that, I don't know where I'd be. I really don't.
Come on, keep it real now.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know where I'd be without her example,
Mhm.
because a lot of the stuff she taught me was through example, to be
Right.
honest.
And that makes a difference.
It really does, because you know, you can say a whole lot.
All right now.
I mean, really, you can, and it could be true.
Yes.
But if I don't see that for you, if you're not doing that for yourself,
Mm.
then how can I believe what that looks like in real life?
Mhm.
You know, and so she really was a great wife and just person, and everybody loved her. She was just the sweetest person, and really humble. And so anyway, yeah, she was all of that.
Wow. Okay. So is there any other woman in your life that you would like to lift up today?
100%. I want to lift up my mom.
Come
who
on
is
now.
like my biggest supporter.
Hey. Hi, mommy. What's her
Yes.
name?
Hi, Mom. Kim.
Kim. Hi, Kim.
So Kimberly is like my rock, my ride or die. You know, biggest fan. You know, she's been nothing but supportive. Like whatever I need, I could just call on her. And you know, when the matriarch of the family leaves, or you know, this family scatters, and it's such a sad thing, especially in the Black community. There's always a big mama. There's always a matriarch. There's always somebody making sure everybody comes to the family event or the family cookout or whatever. And my grandmother was that for my entire family. And so when she passed, everybody kind of did their own thing, you know, right. Which is fine, you know, for a season, but we all really need to stick together.
That's right.
Especially because we need each other. We really do. And so anyway, my mom has been that for me, you know, in my small immediate family. She's kind of been the consistent one, like making sure everybody's good and checking on everybody and going to see people, and you know what I mean? So I love that, and I love you, Mom.
Yes. Well, you know, I'm so grateful that you said that, because in society, we've lost that.
Yeah.
You know, the connection of really being together in a loving and kind way, and it's from the soul. That's why this is called the eyes of the conscience soul. Is because the soul is important, and we want, when you see me or see her or see our families, it's the soul food that's rich and all of that kind. So it's that, and nourishing the soul. When you nourish the soul, no one and nothing can take that from you.
No.
That's what I love about knowing about the soul.
Yes.
Because we feed our souls daily.
Yeah.
You know, for me, the God I serve, you know, he feeds my soul daily. Yeah. And if I don't get that, I'm lost.
Exactly.
I'm lost. I don't feel full, and something is missing. So that grounds me, and just continuously upholding how I was brought up. I'm so glad you said that about your mother. I want to invite my mom in this space today, and that was Mrs. Ernestine Howard from Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery in San Francisco.
Okay.
And yesterday at Homies Empowerment School, where I am a teacher on special assignment, just got hired there for that. And I shared with the students about just having a moment this week of missing my mom and thinking about her and thinking about the things that she went through, how gracefully, like you said, she carried the family and how she treated my dad, our father, and just to give her respect and kudos. And I was sharing with them what I would do when I was a little girl. I would go when she's in the kitchen because she would sing. So when she would be washing dishes, I would go and I would stand by the door and I would listen to her sing. And I can tell where she was in her spirit or what was going on in her life. Yeah. And just as well as my dad doing the same thing, I can tell by the songs he would play and by the things they would uplift. And my mom would sing this song about to the Lord. You know, I can't even think of it. Was about like when the sea is being raised and the when things are being tossed and turned, and she talked about God being the anchor. You know, and when I heard her singing at that door, it just came over me. I felt that everything was going to be all right. And I knew who she was praying, singing to for the foundation of our family and the things that God brought her through and was bringing us through too. So there's many things inside of our bakery that happen. A miracle. She started praying and I'm in there working with her, and I kid you not, and I'm going to share with you, go back and let you speak. It was one day that our freezer went out. We had a big order. We had to, I think it might have been the Hyatt Regency in San Jose, and we needed to make this product. So that was one of their clients. So the freezer, all of a sudden, her and I in there working, and something goes, and we both look at each other, and I look at her, she look at me, and we look at, it's like, that didn't come from the freezer. And I said, oh my God. So I go and I pull the refrigerator door, go inside, the generator had went out, and we like, oh my God, we have to make this order. So my mother started praying and she started singing. And I kid you not, I'm standing in there.
Yeah.
I kid you not, that freezer came back on. Her and I started running around the bakery, started screaming and shouting, because we knew we did not have the money to get to pay for that freezer to come back on for this order that needed to be out in 2 days. I tell you, that was a part of my believing in miracles. Amen. And that God that she served was real and true. And I tell you, I just had tears just flowing going into work this week. It's just been a week, but I'm grateful and thankful that I can remember back, like you can remember back what grandma did and what our aunties and TTs and everybody that really understood seeing us as individuals and human beings and the love that they shared. You knew when you were in their presence that you counted, you made a difference, and that whatever you wanted to do in life, it can be done. Yep. There was a sense of security, and like I've never, it's crazy because you really don't get that unless somebody come from that like era or whatever.
That's so true.
You know, and I'm like, and I want to be that.
Amen.
I'm being that to my community and to my family and to hopefully, prayerfully, the people that's in my life. Because I was sharing with the students also that I don't have time to waste on this earth anymore. I have more years in front of me, behind me, less years behind me than I do in front of me. And I don't have time. I want to do the work that God called me to do. I don't want to play no games. I don't want, and the mistakes I've made, he's forgiven me. I'm grateful to know about his forgiveness. And when I went out and said things and did things, and wasn't pleasing in his sight, but I pray that whenever, I did those wrong things, that they understand forgiveness just as well as I do, because I know, I say to everybody, it landed on me so heavy one year when I learned about forgiveness. God said, how can you ask me for forgiveness and you're not willing to forgive others? And I'm telling you, that turned my life, changed my life around. And even in hardships and relationships, I've forgiven the whole night. I don't hold no grudges. We're best of friends. You know, God says how, and I tell you, I live by that now.
Good.
And I'm telling you, as I was saying, in those eras, we need to bring that back, because, and now I'm a nana. My daughter just had, thank you. She just had a baby, and her name is Autumn.
Oh, beautiful.
Her name is Autumn Helen Denise Glover.
Okay.
So yes. So with that, being a nana, it's a whole nother level, and being able to look at her and having tears about that too. And it's like, Lord, I just want to please pour into her like my mother poured, and my grandma and my aunties, Verdell, and all of my aunties that poured into me. We're honoring the women this month. And as I said, with honoring you, giving you your flowers while you're here. To me, this is what my life, my living in my purpose. I'm living in my purpose.
Come on.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that God didn't leave me in my muck and mire, in my mess.
That's right.
And he just could have left me. And there's so many things that he's done for me in my life. I am a walking miracle. And I know I am. Go ahead. I know.
No,
Go.
I can't
Go.
do nothing
This
but
is about
agree with you.
this is about you.
No.
But and turn your
Okay.
back to you. I thank you for letting me share, because this is what it's about.
This is about us. You're a woman of purpose as well.
Oh,
you're
thank
living in
you,
your purpose
sis.
as well. And your story is very similar to mine, which is very similar to a lot of women's stories.
Yes.
It's more similar than it is different.
Yes.
To be honest.
Mhm.
So I appreciate that. And thank you.
You're welcome. And then I always I tell people all the time, good, bad, ugly, challenging, your story counts. And that's why we created the Eyes of the Conscious Soul over 25 years ago.
Mm.
So I'm still in this. And with my partner, George Pearson. So we started underground radio in San Francisco.
Okay.
In the Bayview, HP, Hunts Point,
Okay.
thing
Okay.
over there. And then we went to day, okay. Then we went to Believe Radio, was based in Oakland, which was, and Mr. and Mrs. Woods. They were, it was on online, FM, AM. And we had the Eyes of the Conscious Soul on that too. Nice. And then we went to, they raised up a young lady named Yolanda Littles. So it was on Yale Radio. And now I'm on Believe Radio. So this journey, this transition, these things that God gave me in my head that he said, and I wrote everything out. He said, you do this, 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 this. And one thing that I pray that people know about me, when he gives me something, I'm going to do it. People may not understand. Sometimes I don't understand, but I'm like, okay, being used. And I'm gonna leave you on this note. When I was facing life for mistaken identity, yes, sitting in the jail cell, I told the Lord, I said, God, you know, I didn't do this, but if I have to serve you in there, you're going to have to protect me. I said, but I wish and I pray that you allow me to be used on the outside. And I tell you, he turned that around. I was supposed to be arraigned. I'll talk about that story later. On a Monday, I went in on the weekend and God got me out of there.
Wow.
And I'm like, I know for where I come from and the things that I've been through and what I've been standing on. I wouldn't be, he has something for me.
He does.
To do.
And you're doing
so go ahead.
No, and I just want to, backpack on that. Ever since I've met you, which was a long time.
Yes.
How long
like over 10 years ago. Like 15. Yeah. How was your baby?
My baby's only 7.
Only 7, but no, it's Pastor Larry. It's been like from 180 degree program when Pastor Larry was over the 180 degree program or the YMCA. Or it might have been okay. So we're looking, it could be like 8 or 9, somewhere up in there.
Right.
Somewhere up in that.
Yep.
Somewhere up in that.
Yep.
Because I think you were pregnant one time when I seen you perform on stage.
I was pregnant.
I think you were pregnant.
Then, yeah, that was 8 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it might have been like 9 when I when we had that at the church over there. Pastor Larry.
Yeah, that church was my kind of like coming out.
No, it was another church. Well, somewhere else before then, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah, I agree.
And when you sung, I was like, the heavens done open. I said, Pastor Larry, who is she? And he told me your name. And then every time he would come and he would have you at events, I'm like, oh, that sister is bad.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, I got to, yeah. I said, that's my little sister. Why? That's my little sister.
Oh,
go ahead.
I appreciate that. No, but ever since then, ever since I've met you, you've just been on money. Like boom, 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 events. Doing this, inspirational putting people on, connecting people, like that's your gift. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. You there's not very many people doing that in the community.
Mm.
On the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There are people who do it for clout or do it for like, big money and doing and just to be seen or whatever. But I don't see you doing that.
You.
I see you in the trenches talking to the real people, the people who need help.
Thank you.
The people who, who are just who need help.
Yeah,
so that's why I can describe it in every way. So
thank you.
Praise God for you. And I pray that God blesses your ministry to go further and bigger so that you can do more for more people, because the heart is there and the sincerity and the consistency is there.
Thank you.
But I just pray God like gives you more so you can work with even more people.
Oh, thank you. Broaden my horizons, Lord. We gonna believe radio now.
Amen.
Look, we gonna believe. We gonna believe.
We're gonna believe.
We gonna believe today. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational gospel music station amongst much, much more. And you can tune in, pull us up, check us out. We're one of the only African-American radio station here in the Bay. So pull up Doc Adam Ology and pull up Believe Radio and learn more about us. However, on the first Saturday of the month, we have the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, the Artist Talk, Why I Dream, She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask, my co-host, Mr. Brandon Rosenity, and in his absence, he's not here today, but I love you, nephew. And then every second Saturday of the month, we have the Medicine Hour, Mr. George Pearson, and then we have Education is the Best Medicine, and that's Mr. George Pearson again. And then the fourth Saturday, we have the Lights Out, Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show, and the co-hosts are the Doc, the Voice, and the Prince of Hearts. And then on the fifth Saturday, which is our we highlight mental wellness and reentry. But today you have tuned in to the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge Artist Talk, where we have the 15 to 45 minute segments. And today we are here in honor of Women's Month. And I'm so excited to have my baby sister, my little sister, in the house with us today. And so I want to ask you, share your name again. Let everybody know who you are.
So my name is Raquel Nicole Jete.
All right. And that name right there, that is a, that name alone. And I'm big on names. Mm-hmm. When I hear certain names and people performing, I'm like, they were born for that. That was their gift. Mm-hmm. And so to hear your name, I'm like, oh, that living in your purpose. This is your gift to what you do. And you bring music to us. You warm our hearts. You warm our souls. You warm our spirits. And just to hear you sing, oh my God, I want to tap into how did you get started and how did you know that was your purpose?
Ooh, I think I knew when I was like 13, like 11, 13, around that time. I'll never forget this moment that happened. I was in high school, like freshman in high school, and, and there was a musical going on, and I didn't know what a musical was. Like we didn't grow up like
that's
that.
Right. Look, keep it real around here now.
I knew church choir, and I knew
that's our was our
performing arts.
Performance arts.
That's what. Yeah, we knew church plays, church musical. But I didn't know that there was a whole like genre. That, I was like, what is this? And so I remember being on the stage for a rehearsal, and it was like empty, like nobody was there. It was just that one spotlight on the stage, and it was like a break in rehearsal or something like that. And I went out there and I looked, I just felt, I was just like, this is where I belong. Yes. I just knew it. I just knew it from that moment on. So anyway, I just pursued it, in school and then outside of school, and then got chosen to do some, stuff. There was a performing arts company that came to our school to pick like 4 kids to do a show. And I was one of them. And, just all of these things started to happen. I was just like, wow, I think I'm really good at this.
Yes.
Like I can do this.
look, that's me. I can do this.
Yeah. So, it just boosted my confidence and I just, I was like, okay, so this is my purpose. And anyway, long story short, I knew that I could write too, because in junior and senior year, there was this thing called Spirit Week. I went to Mount Eden, by the way.
Okay. And where's that located?
In Hayward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so there's this thing called Spirit Week, and you have to do a skit, a dance.
Come on now.
And it's like a theme.
Yes.
Each class has a theme. And so anyway, I did it all. I choreographed the dance. I created the theme. I did the skit. I actually did the voiceover for the skit. I, wrote all of this stuff, and I was just like, dang, I was 16 years old.
Wow.
And I didn't realize until recently that's a gift.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody can do that. Like,
that's
all
right.
of those things. And so moving forward, I'm really going to press into writing, because the Lord has revealed to me that that's who I am. And I'm not just a performer, but I actually can create like things. Like, I can not just write music, but create shows and
come on now, you about to have me run up out of here. I told you about that's the next part that he put on my agenda, and I've done it years ago, but he brought it back up. It's these skits and plays. I'm like, oh my God. And then
I'm already there.
Yeah, I know. And you were telling me about the one that you created now. But before we go there, how can folks get in contact with you?
Oh, sure.
Please.
My Instagram, you know, I have a website, RaquelNicoleJate.com, has all my info there.
And you may need to spell that for them. Say that again.
Oh, it's RaquelNicoleJate.
Okay.
I know it's a mouthful. So
no, it's beautiful. It's chosen.
Praise God. Right now, you know what? This is kind of annoying because my Facebook got hacked recently.
Oh no.
Yes. So if there's anybody that knows how to work that out, let your girl know.
Okay. But this is what it's about.
I have no Facebook.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Well, this is what it's about. We put the call out there into God's land,
right?
And He will bring the people. I know He will.
Please help your sister out. So my Facebook is under, construction. I guess you could say. But my Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok.
Oh, put all of that. Say whatever you on. Please give them the information for they can contact you.
Yep. So all of those things are all under the same name.
Okay.
Raquel Nicole Jate, all of them.
Okay.
All of the things like that. So that's it.
And you were talking about the play. You were talking about the different things that God's giving you to create.
So I've created like 3 shows.
Oh my God.
I haven't put them out yet, but they're in the writing phase.
Yes.
And one of them was the one I told you about.
Yes.
You want me to talk about that?
Yes, I do. This is about you. This ain't about Miss B.
So this one that I have right now, and my desire was to put it out for Black History Month, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's still relevant.
That's
throughout
right.
the year, not just Black History Month. But I wanted to honor the jazz singers of the past.
Yeah.
And so I do a show that basically talks about the history of the Harlem Renaissance and how important that was for us in that period at the time, and why it was even there and why it was relevant. And then I go into talking about 3 different singers: Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, and Sarah Vaughan. And I talk a little bit about their lives, how they got started, and in between doing their actual music. So it's kind of like almost a jukebox musical.
I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a one-woman jukebox musical. But I'm excited to premiere that this year.
We going to. We look, if I got something to do with it, we gonna do that. We will.
I'm so excited.
We will.
Because when you have like a vision in your head, like you just have this idea, and then like you're able to actually do it in real life. It's just, that to me is everything.
And that's good. I'm glad that you said that, because that's what our children are missing today is their imagination, being able to use their imagination. And the phones and all these technologies, it's good, but it takes away from the imagination
100%.
Because they are like, and it's addicting. So it's like they're so in. I'm like,
zoned out.
God, use it for your benefit. But do you know that the imagination created the phone, created this, and African American folks is the ones that created these things. So do you know society wants you to get rid of your
Yes.
imagination, for they can shut you down, for you can only be a consumer
That's right.
and not the creator. So for you could just be out there buying. No, God gave us a gift.
That's right.
And this is about what we're saying today is living in our purpose. We're asking family, friends, community, please grab a hold to your young folks and inspire them to you, because they die without it.
On the inside.
On the come
They're
on.
living, walking dead on the inside.
Yes.
And I'll tell you this firsthand. I'm able to see this because
Mm.
as my job,
Yeah.
I work with young people. I'm a theater teacher.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah,
See,
so
you need
I
to tell me,
teach
girl, we need to talk all about that. Everything. This was this show. Tell everybody everything.
So I teach theater, but I teach it most of the time in these underserved communities.
Yes.
So here I am in East Oakland and Berkeley, and these in high school,
Yeah.
kids at that. So I mean, I teach all different ages, but they don't know how to use their or they're afraid of looking corny, as they say, or they're
Yes.
just like afraid to get out, and they want to, because you can see it in their face. They
Yes.
want to do it, or they'll make like little jokes, like they want to do it, and then they just get scared.
Yes.
So it's not, even in school, there's no real
setting.
place,
Yes.
safe place
Come on.
for them to be themselves and get outside of
Yes.
whatever's typical, because in the imagination, anything goes. Like
Come on.
you get to be goofy and silly and be in your body.
Yes.
And you can't do that if you're always in this box.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And literally, yes,
In a box.
because whatever you see on this is what you emulate.
Yes.
But this is not real life.
Right.
That's not real life.
Right.
And you have your own mind that comes up with, so there's different exercises I do, different games I do, specifically to make them think.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
For themselves.
Yes. Yes.
And then, and I make sure I say, look, nobody speak. I want them to come up with the answer.
That's right.
Because they're not even used to doing that.
Yes.
And so whenever I do have a class, I make it my point to make them think, make them be creative. I have to literally pull them out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm doing my best.
And I can echo to that, because being at the centers and working with the elementary and youth and high school too. And it's like, come on, people. Please. One young lady, she fought me tooth and nail, Miss B. I don't know how to create. I'm like, your mind, baby, you can.
Wow.
And I'm like, just because I do healing through art.
Yes.
And spoken word, I'm a spoken word artist, poetry, and all of that, those different things that you're saying. And it's like, come on. And once I got her going, she was fighting me too. But as she was progressing, I'm like, and then she said, no, this is all mess. I said, in art, there's no mistake. I said, you take that piece that you think that is a mistake and just do something different, create something different. And I tell you, my heart was saddened though, because I was like, oh my God, these babies don't know how. And like you said, and feel corny when they try to use their imagination. I was that day, I was cooked. But however, I pushed through and I pushed them, and the projects that they came up with, I'm like, I make them create skits and plays and all that kind of good stuff too. Good. And do performances and public speaking and all of that. I did that in my and matter of fact, I am a life coach for the 180 degree program. And that's teaching to social emotional learning, self-development, self-awareness, self-development, social awareness, and social responsibility. So teaching them how to maneuver. It was absolutely, people at the 180 degree program would use me as an example to teach the other 180 degree coaches to come in and watch my classroom. So at Fruitvale Elementary, I had a bungalow, I had a class Absolutely. I taught those kids learned 22 things in 1 hour. I had 90 students a day. I had 30 each hour. And I tell you, when I was preparing them to get them ready for their actual teachers to teach them how to get in there and do the work with this teacher. And it was absolutely amazing. People was like, you have how many kids? And I can't deal with only 30 kids. And when the kids start acting, guess whose class they wanted to send them to? Miss Howard's class. So it's to share about this imagination and all these things. It's like we got to hold our kids to understand that uplifting Women's Month, uplifting our young girls, and uplifting. We have to inspire them to know the beauty from within and who they are, because society is saying you this way. No, you're not. You're not what society is saying. You are brilliant, intelligent, and you're smart, and you're creative. But tell me about so with the skits and the plays, not plays, with the musical and the how do you come up with the words for singing, for the songs? How do God inspire you for the songs that you write? And I wish you could sing a song, but y'all go on her social media, pull her up. You're going to be like, what? It's like heaven. I'm telling you, that just opens up in your spirit and everything get fed. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you can go on Spotify and all of those other things.
Please. How do they go on there and get that?
So yeah, if you have Spotify or what is it, Pandora or Apple Music, I'm on all of those. So it's the same name, Raquel Nicole Jete, on all of the platforms, wherever you stream music, or YouTube too. So
okay. Right on. Well.
So yeah, and then you're working on some stuff on that. But anyway, yeah. So as far as lyrics, it's interesting because the way it started was I play guitar. So
yes,
and I used to play a lot more than I do now. But so what I would do was I would just be in a room by myself playing the different chords that I taught myself. I'm just kind of
you taught yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Well, talk about that too. Look, I gotta have you back. Look, we don't have time. We got no time. Go ahead.
Well, in short, I was in a I've had like 4 lives. But basically, I was in a missionary group, and we used to travel around and do gospel music. And anyway, I asked the Lord, I wanted to play guitar because I wanted to worship. That's all I wanted it for. I was just like, I just want to play guitar and worship God. So when I finally got one, I didn't know what I was doing, but I just wanted to worship so bad. So I would just play until something sounded good, and I would just do that over and over again, and just kind of, just continue with that. And so anyway, it began to where I would just be saying what was on my heart in the moment, and kind of singing whatever was coming to me.
Because God says what's done from the heart reaches the heart. So in your music, I can see that now.
That's
Go
how,
ahead.
And I still write that way. I can see. I really do. It's organic, whatever comes out organically. And of course, I finesse it a little and kind of package it a little better. But it always usually comes out from whatever's inspired. Whatever comes out, whatever I'm inspired to do. So yeah, long story short, that's how I write. However, there are songs that write themselves.
All right,
and
now
know this from poetry.
Yes.
Sometimes you take a pen to pad and the whole thing, you write the whole thing in 5 minutes. You'd be like, oh, snap. Yes. How did that happen? So I've written songs like that too, where they kind of just wrote themselves. And one of those songs was the first single I ever did, which I don't talk about a lot because of what it's the first one, and we had to learn along the way, but it's called Equally Yoked. That's the first single I ever did. And so that song, as soon as I heard that beat, I was freestyling, and I was freestyle singing, and that was the whole song.
Wow.
From the first time.
It's so beautiful to hear. And this is why we're doing the show too, is that we want people to really walk in their purpose because the world needs it. God didn't say we were supposed to be like everybody.
No.
I tell people, be extraordinary, not ordinary. I'm not like anybody else. I don't want to be like anybody else. And I tell the students all the time, what makes Miss Howard different from everybody else? My nails. But my nails tell my life story. So and we can go another one on that. But it's like, be different. Got all the flowers, the birds. God didn't create and neither one of our fingerprints are the same.
No.
So we're supposed to be different.
There is not one blade of grass.
Come
that is
on.
the same. There is not one tree that is exact. You can them by their rings. Their rings tell a story.
Watch yourself now.
I'm telling you.
Watch yourself.
This is how the Creator created everything in nature. Anything that's organic is always unique. Anything that's organic. So what society in the world, we want to blame it on whoever.
Yeah.
Is making us the opposite of organic.
Come on now.
Right?
Come on.
The opposite of organic is uniformity and unoriginality and anything that looks, uniform, which is what you see in the grocery store. Even they won't even sell you an apple if it's oblong shaped. That's right. Whether or not it's the same, ingredients on the inside.
So you are mentally in placing that. And I went, Lainey, it was a class that's called, oh my God, it was a sociology class. I can't think of
sociology.
But yes, class, and it was teaching us about like commercials and all these different things that it's embedded in your head.
Oh yeah,
this already implanted, and you don't even know.
Oh no,
you don't even know.
For years.
For years,
it's been happening for. We've been
conditioned.
Exactly. We've been
conditioned.
conditioned.
That's the word.
To believe in a fake,
come on,
forced, really perfect world,
right? And nothing's. Go ahead.
That's so funny. We talked about this is because it's one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
Because of this, that movie, not Pleasantville. That's one of them too. But The Truman Show. Have you seen that movie? I've
heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it. I need to see it. Okay, you need to text it to me.
Okay,
when you get a chance. When you get a chance.
You know why? Because it was a perfect world, but it was. I can't tell you the story.
Yeah.
But basically, it's about a man who grew up in a perfect society that was created for him. And it wasn't until he's tried to do something different that the system started to crack.
Watch yourself now. Come on.
Come on.
You're going to have me running up and around.
But listen, that's the problem. You need to crack the system. You got to do something different. You have to do something that is unique to you.
That's right.
Because God has really made us so specific. And this is really encouraging to me because sometimes I get in my head about it. Dang, is there a place for me in all of this?
You're going to make me cry up in here because I feel the same way at times. It's like, this place is not for me. Is there a place for me?
And there is.
Oh my God.
But you know what the Lord revealed to me, even just, was it last night? It was very recent. He said, when you are 100% yourself.
Ooh, authentic. Come on now. Original. Yes.
No influences.
No
other stuff.
Yes.
You are literally who you are.
Yes.
You are in your purpose, and there is freedom in that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So what you're feeling right now is bondage. Why? Because you're trying to do something,
girl, come on, girl,
that everybody else is doing. You're doing it the same way everybody else is doing it. But when you become specific to what you like and what you think and what you believe in, you know what I mean? Not, you know what I'm saying? This is all relative. But what I'm trying to say is, when I'm true to myself, everything starts to
look at my earrings today. Look, truth. Look what he had me put on.
I was watching.
I'm like, this is me. And this is a reminder for me.
That is what I put a post up on my Instagram, and my followers would know this, is that I wrote on my notebook one day, Don't be afraid of the truth because it's
Mhm.
the only thing that's real.
Come on. And it says the truth will set you
And the
free.
truth will set. So
Yes,
freedom
freedom comes with
is
truth.
100% aligned with truth.
Yes,
So
it
what is
is.
100% aligned with bondage?
Bondage.
So if freedom and truth are 100% aligned, then bondage and a lie.
A lie. You're right. You're
So
right.
we're living a lie.
Living a lie.
When we are not.
I love you that you put
100%
that one instead of anything else, the lie with the bondage, because that is the God honest truth. Come on now. Let's go.
Ain't nothing else to say. Ain't nothing else.
Look, we got 10 minutes
got
to go. I'm like, holy mackerels.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, so yeah, we got doggone it. But okay, let me calm down. But it's okay. So, is what I would like for you to, first of all, everybody, we thank you for tuning in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and music gospel station, amongst others. Please tap into Believe Radio. Go on our Facebook, go on all of our social media, and tap into the different things that we're doing here in our community and all over the world. The Eyes of the Conscious Soul always bring to you every first Saturday of the month the Cafe Le Blue Lounge, which is Artist Talk. Why I Dream, She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. The second Saturday of the month is the Medicine Hour. The third Saturday of the month is Education is the Best Medicine. The fourth Saturday of the month is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show. And the fifth Saturday of the month is Voices That Care, and we highlight mental wellness and reentry. But we do, before we go, want to share an event that's coming up that is presented by BH Brilliant Minds Project Inc., which is my nonprofit, and the Black Women's Media and Wellness Project. And this is our 11th annual Phenomenal Woman panel discussion, and we have Sister Karen Simferu and the council member Treva Reed that's going to be on our panelists. And the theme is Sister, You Are My Medicine. It's Friday, excuse me, March the 22nd, 2024, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Joyce Gordon Gallery, downtown Oakland, 406 14th Street, Oakland, California. And it is in honor of Harriet Tubman's birthday. So please, definitely make sure you bring your sister friends out to enjoy that celebration. And the phenomenal woman is just to say we are phenomenal and never forget that. So, and again, excuse me, again, in honor of Harriet Tubman's birthday, just to give her a salute and thanking her for the mighty works. And the two women that speaks to me and our ancestors is Sojourner Truth and Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman. Jesus Christ. And it's crazy. I was going through a moment just the other day. Yeah. I was at one of the events that was one of my jobs that I had to do at an event that that my job put on Nami Contra Costa. And in remembrance on the wall, I'm in here in my head in the restroom, and both of them was on the wall, and that spoke to me and said, "We see you, we know what you do, keep going." And that that filled my day. And then after that, I got a call that just blew my mind. I said, "God, okay, you know what? Wait, whoa. But just to say that walking in our purpose and the work that you're doing and the light that you're bringing to our community, what would you say to parents or to individuals that's out there that want you said it, you touched spaces with a little bit that we need for them to walk in their purpose? What would you say to them? They're sitting on this, I don't know how, I don't know what to do. What would be a message that you would share with them?
To the parents of kids who feel like they, honestly, the number one thing that I would tell the parents is to turn off the TV.
Come on. Ooh,
turn
Lord.
off the electronics for a part of the day, a section of the day, because what it does, it forces you to use your imagination and how to fill that time. You have no other choice but to figure something out. Just like we did when we went outside to play.
That's right.
We figured something out.
We figured it out.
We made up a game.
Yeah.
because that's our natural inclination to do, is to
mhm.
create and to make up stuff and to be free in that way.
Yes.
So once you turn off the TV, and this is this is so true for all of us, even
Yes.
adults.
Mhm.
If there's a section of the day that you can say for 2 hours, let me, because that's not that long.
That's right.
But for us, it might,
Mhm, mhm.
we, it's long enough, right? At minimum, like, so, and then read the book that you've been saying you wanted to read. So anyway, that's number one. Number two, I would talk to my child.
Come on now.
And ask them, what do you like?
That's good.
What do you want to be?
That's good.
What do you want to do? What, there was a young lady, a little niece of mine, I call her my little niece. And I was braiding her hair. And this is another black woman moment.
Come on now.
When you're doing hair.
Come on now. Yes, that was the conversation.
That's where you talk.
That's where we talked. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So here I am braiding her hair, and she's like 14, and she's coming into her own, but she's like a lot of other young Black girls and teens who just don't know what they're good at.
Right.
And so I would ask her prompting questions. What do you do if you didn't watch TV? Let's say you turned off all the electronics. What would you do? Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. Like, I would sleep, Okay, so what if you weren't sleepy? What would you do? Mm-hmm. And then I was like, what do people say when you do this thing?
Right.
And people say, "Ooh, that was good," or you're really good at that.
Yes.
What do people like? What are their reactions when you do this particular thing? And she was like, "Oh, well, I can cook."
Okay.
And I was like, there you go. She was like, "Yeah, my food be good." And then she started showing me.
And she lightened up.
She lit up, like her whole face lit up. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So when you pour into that part of you, your life lights up.
That's right.
Because the light in your eyes light up. And that's what you give to the world is your light and what you're good at. So anyway, I just go on to say those two things are the main things. Talk to your child, talk to your kids, ask them questions. They really want you to.
That's right. They may act like they don't, but they do.
They want you to be, trust me.
There for them.
They do.
Yeah.
Emotionally. You have to emotionally carry them in certain ways.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're emotionally unstable because they're going to look for that in somebody else, and they're going to give them the wrong
Can you please say that again? They're going
to look for that emotional confirmation and affirmation in somebody else. That's going to lead them in the wrong direction. And that's what we keep saying. So yes, parents, love looks like telling them no with the electronics for a season. And love also looks like, having to sit down and asking them questions.
And God's been working with me with this time. And I do the same with the students. Mm-hmm. God said to me about like 4 or 5 months ago, he said 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He said, remember something. Football is in 15 minutes. Basketball is in 15 minutes. People can't tell me that they can't do anything. You can take 15 minutes. He said, what can be done in 15 minutes? You can do it. When they play in the basketball game, 15 minutes. Football, 15 minutes. So he said, just take out 15 minutes of your day. Even if you can't do 15 minutes, start off with 5. And then gradually work your way up. So he says, you can't tell me that you don't have time. And this is what he said, it can be done.
Yeah.
So, and I've been telling everybody, I said, just work yourself in 15 minutes and watch what you can accomplish in that time. And I'm so glad you said, take away the cell phones, because in my house, when my kids was growing up, they had mental shutdown, quiet time.
That's good.
And what I was sharing with them is that you've been talking since you got up this morning through school, through the whole day. I want you to be able to sit with your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Be quiet. You can either read a book, you can create something. I don't care, whatever you do, you're going to sit for that time. And then not only that, to give me time to decompress, to cook, whatever I need to do for you guys for dinner and for cleaning the house or whatever I needed to do, and vice versa. It gave me my time. I have people, my sisters and girlfriends were like, girl, why you do your kids like that? But then they told me, oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm doing mental. I was like, girl, that mental shutdown, quiet time. Oh, it's it. I was like, well, it's just thinking of things to do. Because like you said, when we didn't have outside playing, oh, we created, use our imaginations, we thought of something to do, and it can be done. Again, can you please tell folks how to connect with you and give them some parting words?
Absolutely. So all of the platforms, whether that be Spotify, YouTube, you know, wherever, Pandora, yes, thank you, Instagram, you know, TikTok, right? They're all under the same name, Raquel Nicole Jete, and Jete is spelled Jete, and it just has an accent over the E. So so that is me across the platform. It's also the name of my website. So if you even Google me, a lot of all of that will come up. And parting words is just first of all, thank you so much for having me, and this was very inspiring.
You'll be back.
Amen. I will be back. Amen. But yeah, this is really great to realize that there is a place for you. There's a place for all of us. But it's not going to happen when we're trying to fit into so many different boxes.
Now.
You know, there is a specific arena for each of us because we're all very specific, and it's for us to break the mold. We're supposed to break the ceiling. We're supposed to break the you know, the box or whatever you want to call it, the system, because it's not supposed to be a system.
That's right.
In the first place, there's not supposed to be a box. We're supposed to be free. And so on the other side of your freedom, what's stopping you from that is to be unapologetically yourself.
Come on now.
In every way. And so I just would, you know, challenge everyone listening to this, and even myself, I'm talking to myself and everybody on my Instagram, just to sit back and think about a time where you were really free, and really analyze that season and say, what was I doing differently than what I'm doing now? And I bet you 9 times out of 10, you were living in your purpose.
All right now.
I bet you 9 times out of 10, you were being unapologetically yourself. And that is where you will find freedom.
Hey. Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and tapping into Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational gospel music station, and you have tapped into the Eyes of the Conscious Soul, and we're so grateful and thankful. We want to thank our sponsors. We have Pastor Larry Austin from Elevate Gospel Ministries. We have Education is the Best Medicine, Mr. George Pearson. We have Barbara Howard Consulting. We have BH Brilliant Minds Project Inc. Please, please, please don't forget to go on BH Brilliant Minds Project Inc. website, and you can pull up the upcoming events that we're doing. However, this one will be in highlight of the Phenomenal Woman event, and we're going to have this at Miss Joyce Gordon Gallery, downtown Oakland, California, Friday, March the 22nd, 2024. From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is a free event. And we have our theme is Sisters, You Are Our Medicine. Please take care of yourself, love on your family, and never forget, don't be in a box. Think out of the box. And again, thank you, my little sister. I'm so graciously grateful and thankful to have you on this show. She will be back, and we love y'all. Appreciate you. Stay safe and good night.